just kind of want to go away and forget about it, really, don't you? Is it acceptable to do it in a different way?
I couldn't put humane in front of any other injustice and then make it sound okay.
No,
we couldn't be humanely racist. It's going to be that's going to convince you to stop paying for animals to be exploited and murdered for taste pleasure. You owe it to the animals, the bare minimum, to be vegan.
Oh.
Their life to them is just as important as your life is to you. So, what do you think about what you saw?
I've seen that stuff before,
right,
on YouTube and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. It's not the nicest 3 minutes to watch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's your emotions?
I don't know. It leaves you a bit. It's a bit intense, but you just kind of want to go away and forget about it, really, don't you? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Most people do just want to forget about it.
Yeah.
But for the animals, they can't forget about it.
No.
For them, they're forced into them situations, and everyone else who's oppressing them is just staying willfully ignorant and doing their best to forget about it and not actually see. Would you agree that animals are someone's? They are somebody?
Well, they're a creature. Yeah.
They're having a subjective experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think they're, they're not like robots or anything. Yeah.
No.
They're not human, but yeah, they've got their own minds and.
Yeah. So they make choices. They express. You can see they express fear, pain, so joy, things like that. So if they're having a subjective experience, how do we justify putting them into slaughterhouses for our taste pleasure?
Well, you can't, can you? Really? If you're looking at it like that, yeah, you can't. No. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of a hard subject, really. I mean, even if you show everyone those videos, it's hard for. I don't think a lot of people are just going to instantly stop eating meat. I guess. I don't. Even for watching that, look, I kind of I don't like watching. I don't like watching it. It's not enjoyable watching anything in pain.
No.
But I don't know if it would turn me instantly. I've watched videos like that before just to see, and I find it awful, like watching it.
Yeah.
But
I
find the human mind is a bit kind of good at just kind of, see something and then kind of blanket it. Like kind of
forget about it.
I think the human mind can do that. Like I'd watch that and I'd think about that for a while, like I did when I see other stuff, and then you kind of other stuff comes into your mind, doesn't it? And I think that's feels like we're like goldfish, really.
So we agreed that they're having a subjective experience and they're somebody. So they're having a subjective experience the same as you are.
Yeah.
So if we flipped the roles round and you became the victim and they were the oppressor, as the victim, would you accept that as a justification, or would you say you can't forget about me? Like, I'm here suffering, I'm having my head cut off the sandwiches. Yeah. How do we? What do we say to the animals to say, sorry, but I'm just going to put it to the back of my mind?
I think they've just got to change the process of. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I understand why people won't eat meat, and and I understand. I think it's been going on for so since the beginning of human. The way. Is it acceptable to do it in a different way?
What do you reckon?
Is it? I mean, that style of. I don't think it should be done like that at all.
How could we take the life of someone who doesn't want to die? They're all struggling for their lives in there, right? You can see they're fighting for their lives. How do we do it in a way that's okay?
Good question. I don't know. I can't answer for that. Yeah.
I would say there isn't a way.
Yeah.
I would say because there is someone. How can we humanely kill someone? The word itself, humane slaughter, it doesn't work. We couldn't put humane in front of any other injustice and then make it sound okay.
No,
we couldn't be humanely racist.
No, of course not. There doesn't. There's no. I mean, unless we all go back to 400 or 500 years ago hunting our food, and then is that acceptable? So do we go back to? Yeah. Do we go back to?
Still right to do that?
I mean, but then again, we're built like that, aren't we? It's we're a predator as well as a. So back in, I don't know, thousands of years ago, I guess they didn't have the options, or I know people that were still vegetarians, I guess, and people that didn't eat it. But then there was some people, I guess, what they hunted back then though was everything was used rather than waste of what was.
You touched on the most important point as you were saying that, is we didn't have the options, but now we do have the options. So now we have an option. You have an option now to go about your daily life, and you can have the option to choose not to put animals into slaughterhouses.
Yeah.
So what would make you not put animals in slaughterhouses? What would it take? You've seen the footage, and that didn't turn you vegan. What is it going to be that's going to convince you to stop paying for animals to be exploited and murdered for taste pleasure?
Good question. Who knows? I don't know. I can't. Yeah, that's not an instant thing you can. I think it's people have to think about. I don't know.
I would say is put yourself in the victim's position. If we say people have got to think about it, it's a slow process.
Yeah.
You know, change is happening but slowly. If you were the victim, I don't think any of us would accept that justification. We'd be saying no, like, get me out of here now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that we owe it to the animals. The bare minimum to be vegan.
Oh.
You know, let them live their life. Their life to them is just as important as your life is to you.
Yeah, of course.
Would you say that a 15-minute pleasure of a meal is worth more than that animal's life?
No. You know, it's just you can't. Yeah, they're all. You know, there's no. The question. Yeah, the answer is it's cruel. Then, yeah, I don't know. It's big. It's a big question, isn't it?
I think it's kind of simple. I think it's really simple. I think people would say, "Oh, it's big. There's a lot to take in," but it's literally as black and white as if you're against animals being exploited and murdered, be vegan.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
It's super easy.
What changes for you? You get a vegan burger, you get a vegan hot dog, you get a vegan chicken.
I mean, I've eaten vegan. That's I'm totally
get
fine.
a vegan option.
Yeah.
So
Stuff to think about.
But just remember, the whole time you're thinking about it, you know, as humans, we're brilliant of avoiding change. Like you say, we take 4 steps away, we put the blinkers back on, and we continue to not do anything different. We just say, oh yeah, I remember that made me feel quite bad when I saw the animals having their lives taken.
Yeah, then you'll go away and think about it. And then you'll go forget about it, really.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
I think. No, but look,
we do that to
we
any
always
other
know.
injustice?
We know that's happening. Things happen and like that. You do see it and you do think about it, but then it's there. But then, not even that you don't. You forget about it. It's just. I don't know, he's getting on with...
What about another, I mean, I presume that you're not racist.
No.
Do you think daily about being not racist, or are you just not racist?
I don't think about it. I don't need to think about it.
But you're not complicit within that injustice.
What do you mean?
See what I mean? So...
Yeah, I don't think about it because...
you don't think about it, but you're not complicit in it. So you could go away and you don't have to think about this all the time and still not be complicit in it. It hasn't got to be, like, you haven't got to see animals being slaughtered daily to remember... oh yeah, I shouldn't pay for them to be exploited and murdered. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, just because it's not in your visual forefront every day, we don't have to be constantly reminded to not be racist. We're just not racist.
No, of course not.
Would you agree that it's an injustice?
Yes.
So then, to be not
animals like that isn't. But I'm also then not opposed to going back to the old way of hunting.
Like a hunting style of killing.
And only using. I don't think I'm going to go away and at this moment and instantly think I'm going to go vegan. Do feel for you, you know, since like in the West when the Westerners that went to the American and slaughtered all the buffalo, but didn't use them. They just killed them and left their bodies.
Yeah.
I just think if you need to do it, you can do it. As you said, all right, we'll remove the name humanely. Hunting is just a hunting thing, but maybe then we'd use less meat. You know, if we I don't know. Well, there's too many people in the world, and too many people eating meat. Maybe less people in the world, but then how do you go around?
But even killing one animal is too much, right? Would you say killing one person is wrong?
Yeah.
There's no difference to killing one person to killing 10 people. Both are wrong.
Yeah, killing is killing, isn't it?
Yeah, killing is killing. Same with animals.
Yeah.
So if we hunt one animal, it's still wrong. It's still an injustice for that one animal. And we couldn't justify killing humans by saying we're going to use their body.
No, look. Yeah, there's no. I'm not going to give you there's no correct answer. I don't. Well, the correct answer, obviously, that we're saying here is don't eat animal, which is fair enough.
And obviously, milk and eggs come into that as well. Because what people do immediately when they see things like this is they go vegetarian, because they think if I'm not like directly consuming the flesh from the animals.
You're talking about not And no eggs as well, no
No
milk.
eggs, no milk.
So if we don't need these animals, we don't need to breed them anymore. So we can eventually kind of breed them out until they don't exist anymore, and then they can't be stopped. Is that what?
Do you know how many animals are bred into existence every year?
Yeah, I know. So we wouldn't need to do that. Yeah.
Exactly. We breed 80 billion animals, land animals, into existence every year to be executed in a
What do
murder
we do with
house.
these animals though? After
People kill them and eat them.
no, without eating them.
Oh, what would we do?
Cows it. What? We don't need them on the land. So what do we do?
We wouldn't be left with we wouldn't be left with 80 billion land animals like running around.
Yeah.
What would happen is veganism will increase gradually, and as veganism increases, because there's supply and demand industries, the demand for animal flesh, for animal secretions will drop. Yeah. Therefore, the supply will drop, and you'll have a transition where it will sort of animals being bred into existence and vegans would sort of transition. So you'd have more vegans and less animals over a period of time. Mm. And the animals that are left would be, you know, you've got maybe 8 billion vegans that are quite happy to have animals in sanctuaries and allow them to live their life how they're supposed to live.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about.
All right, mate. Let me give you one of these cards if I can get it out of this thing. I don't know how they come out of these things. And you got one. That's it. Yeah. There you go, mate.
Thank you very much.
Go onto that website, put that code in. There's a speech on there called the Gary Yourofsky speech. It's called the best speech you'll ever hear. You've seen Slaughterhouse footage 2 or 3 times now, and it hasn't made you make the connection or make the change. Yeah. Maybe listen to someone like Gary, he's at the bottom of a lecture theatre, and he's just having a really good chat. Maybe having a bit more deep dive into it might help you to make that connection. Yeah. Just remember, the whole time you're not, they're going in them slaughterhouses for you. Yeah. Nice to meet you, mate. My name's Steve. It's been a really nice chat. Oh, you got it, mate? Have a good day, mate. Thanks, mate. Cheers, guys.